Traders, stop sitting on the sidelines and start planning your entries, because Bitcoin is doing exactly what it usually does after fear. It moves quietly while most people are still sitting and waiting for certainty. Price is pushing into key highs. Inefficiencies are sitting above the market, and structure across multiple time frames is now clearly bullish. But before we get into the charts, let's talk about the macro, because what's happening there explains why this move is taking place. Let's go! Something important is happening beneath the surface of the cryptocurrency markets. First, event betting is now moving beyond the realm of politics. Polymarket has partnered with Parcel to launch property betting markets using on-chain housing price indices. That's a big deal. It means blockchain infrastructure is now being used to price regional property market valuations, long-term economic trends, and real-world asset performance. Not narratives, actual markets, people. At the same time, we're seeing evolution on the ETF side. Grayscale has officially renamed its Solana Trust ETF to the Grayscale Solana Staking ETF. That signals a shift. Institutions aren't just gaining exposure, they're integrating yield, staking, and network participation into ETFs. Wow! And zooming out even further, tokenization is starting to highlight the winners. Done wrong, tokenization fails because of low liquidity. Some platforms see over 50% value loss just from shallow pools. Done right, taps into billions of dollars, Mr. Powers. Platforms like Ondo don't rely on thin on-chain liquidity. They tapped right into the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange liquidity pools. Stablecoins fund the trade. The real asset is purchased with a registered broker, and traders receive fully backed liquid tokens. That's the pathway the market is moving. Deep liquidity, real backing, scalable on-chain access. So while price action looks calm, infrastructure, liquidity, adoption are quietly accelerating. Now, let's see how all of this lines up with the charts. Starting with the monthly chart, Bitcoin is currently pushing toward the previous month's high. That level matters. And just above it, we have a fair value gap. Yes, a fair value gap represents inefficiency, areas where price moved too fast and left an imbalance. Markets like to rebalance inefficiency. As long as Bitcoin holds structure, this fair value gap acts more like a magnet above price than resistance. More about fair value gaps in the next chart. On the weekly time frame, the structure is very clear. Bitcoin has now made its move from a weekly demand zone into an internal fair value gap, and the momentum here is clearly bullish. This isn't a weak grind. It's strong follow-through, which usually favors continuation, not exhaustion, people. Just want to point out a few things. Again, we talked about the 95K level. That level is right around the corner here. It's on its way there, and that's where this fair value gap happens to be positioned. Fair value gaps typically act as support or resistance levels, and there's a tendency for them to get filled. So we have to see how Bitcoin behaves at 95K. If it's rejected, we could potentially see it pull back into support, which would be a buying opportunity, especially on this time frame. On the 3-day chart, Bitcoin is seeing expansion away from what I call the bear box. And yes, it can get hairy at times. This is where fear peaks, liquidity gets flushed, and strong hands step in. This is where you see extreme sentiment appear on your favorite social platforms and in your chat rooms and from your favorite fake gurus. This is where you don't want to get caught with your shorts in the fear box, because this is where the general herd fails to see the context of the bigger picture. Very important. Strong hands step in and they accumulate from the weak hands. Moves that start from extreme zones are often the strongest because weak hands have been flushed out, people. On the 4-hour, Bitcoin gave us a textbook sequence. Breakout, retest, then strong impulse move higher. That's exactly how healthy breakouts behave. When price does this, it tells you the market is accepting higher prices, not rejecting them. Notice, it broke the trend line, retested the trend line, made the higher high, retested the previous high. that's a structured breakout. Those are the type of moves you look for and continuation patterns to try to enter a breakout that is not faking out. On the 2-hour time frame, Bitcoin has a near perfect bullish trend. Check this out. Higher lows, higher highs, all over the place. And after almost every impulse move, we see bullish order blocks forming. That's right, order blocks. You know how those are. These act as support during pullbacks and fuel for continuation. This is what a controlled bullish trend looks like. Not emotional, not chaotic. They also provide reference points for if Bitcoin pulls back. You have multiple reference points for potential pullback scenarios where you can anticipate bullish reversal patterns. Now, let's look at Ethereum on the daily chart. Ethereum is sitting at a very important level. If price can sustain above this area, the path higher is much more likely. This level separates continuation from short-term consolidation. So it's a level to respect, not to depend on. What that means is this is not a forecast. We're not expecting price to pull back here precisely. It's basically a test. Can price maintain this level? If the answer is yes, then price is likely to push higher and follow this scenario. On the 4-hour chart, Ethereum was initially rejected at this level, but now that resistance has flipped into support. That shift tells us bears are losing control and buyers are stepping in with conviction. As long as Ethereum holds this support, price has room to push much higher from here. Look at this. A lot of potential here, people. Bitcoin, monthly poised for previous highs with a fair value gap above. Weekly, moving from demand into inefficiency. 3-day expansion out of the bear box. 4-hour clean breakout, retest and continuation. 2-hour strong bullish structure with order blocks. Ethereum, daily chart maintaining a key continuation level. 4-hour resistance flipped into support. And on the macro side, betting markets expand into land property. ETFs evolving towards staking and yield. Tokenization maturing through real liquidity. This isn't random price action, people. This is structure aligning with infrastructure. If you want to trade these levels yourself, I left my exchange links in the description. BTCC and WEX. Use them only if they help. They support the channel and give you access to the same tools. Frank Yan, you have something to add? Like, subscribe, leave comment, help channel. Oh, that was real nice of you. Thanks. Amadayo. The market never rewards overreaction. It rewards patience, especially when structure is clear and adoption is quietly accelerating. By the time confidence returns, the move is usually in progress and missed by most. Stay patient, respect the structure, and I'll see you in the next one.